What's up, guys? Welcome back to This Just In. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're going to take a look at Mara, the Bitcoin mining stock. I added some more shares today on this big market pullback we had this morning. So I'll give you my thoughts on the overall market as well as the Mara price prediction. So let's jump right in. All right, guys, before we get started today, subscribe to the channel for me. Hit that little bell so you can get notified every time I post. There's a link down in the description to my Patreon account as well. I think we've got 1 or 2 spots left for the day one squad. That's where I did it for just $1. You'll get access to the private Discord where we talk stocks, links to 5 different portfolios so you can see exactly what I invest into. And then anytime I buy or sell a stock, enter a swing trade or a crypto trade, I send that out so you can follow along. So if that's something you're interested in, come on over and join us. We'd love to have you. If you want to be a part of the day one squad, be in the family, help support the channel, come on over. Current patrons, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. But guys, let's jump in. So this morning when I woke up and looked at the pre-market, it was pretty nasty. I mean, there was a sea of red. Everything was red. And it wasn't just 1 or 2% red. I mean, there was stocks down, 10, 12, 15%, PaySafe, Skills, IPOE, like Lightning E-Motors. A lot of the stocks that we invest into, they were getting absolutely hammered. Jumia, Mara, they were all down tremendously. And I was like, oh, we are in for a world of hurt. I sent out a notification in the Patreon last night of the NASDAQ chart and showed the support level it closed at yesterday and was like, if it breaks down through that, we're in for a ride. Which, guys, I do think that there's going to be more downward pressure. In the coming, I think May's going to be the worst of it. I think in the beginning of June it'll start to even up a little bit, maybe start trading sideways, because right now we're getting downward pressure, and then we'll get a couple of days where it pops, and then downward, and then a couple of days and it's up. So overall, market's pretty choppy. The overall big indexes, they're up. I mean, they're breaking into all-time highs. Right now the NASDAQ's correcting, but overall, guys, it's the speculative growth stocks that are, overpriced, high valuations. They're getting priced back down to where they probably should be. But I think as we get into June, I think we will start to price in, the reopening, price in, some of the Q2 earnings that are coming up. So, guys, one thing I'll say is take a deep breath. Day one squad, don't panic. Just keep your cool. The market will not stay like this forever. It will turn around. I'm sure you guys have seen that, that graphic or that picture of, I think they call it trader emotions or whatever, and it shows it shows a shape like this, and it shows where you get in here and you ride it up, and it's like you get all excited, and then you get validation, and then it starts to fall a little bit, and you start second guessing, and then you start getting super stressed, and then you start panicking. And this is where we're at right here. I think we're in the absolute worst of it. What's going to happen though is if you sell down here, then all of a sudden it'll start going back up. The market runs in cycles, guys. So stay calm. What was beautiful about today is everything was getting absolutely annihilated this morning in pre-market. We got some real good prices on some stuff, and then around noon, 11 o'clock, just started coming right back. I mean, at one point today, my portfolio was down big. It was down 4 or 5%. It ended up around 1.5%. I don't even think it was that much, under 1%. So we had a really nice bounce back. Guys, just keep your heads up. Keep your conviction. Dollar cost average. Well, that's what I'm doing, is dollar cost averaging into my high conviction stocks. Anytime I see a stock down to a level where I can significantly cut my cost, I'm adding more. So it will change. But guys, let's talk about Mara. So this is obviously a Bitcoin mining stock. Like I said, they just posted earnings yesterday, I want to say. So let's take a look at that. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of the earnings. I'll give you some thoughts on it and kind of why I like them over some of the other mining companies. And we'll look at the chart and we'll wrap it up. So as you can see here, Q1 GAAP earnings per share of 87 cents, which beat by 85 cents. The revenue was 9.2 million, which was a 1,459% increase year over year, but they still missed by 2.1 million in overall revenue. Guys, obviously 4-digit growth looks amazing, up 1,400%, but When you go from practically nothing to 9 million, it's not that impressive. I mean, nonetheless, they're still growing. That's great. But I would imagine a majority of that is the price of Bitcoin going from practically nothing to, to 60 grand. Adjusted EBITDA improved to income of 137.4 million from a loss of 479,000 in the first quarter of 2020. They produced 192 Bitcoin in the first quarter of 2021. And then as of May 6th, they produced 386 Bitcoins in 2021 as a total. They increased the number of their miners to 6,800 different miners, generating 0.71 exahash in the first quarter of 2021. And then as of May 6th, the company's total active miners consist of 13,644 miners, generating approximately 1.46 exahash. Guys, really the big race in the industry right now, what I want to kind of tell you why I like Mara, is because the big race is who can get the most amount of miners and acquire the most amount of hash rate. For those of you guys that don't know, hash rate is just how many times your rigs can attempt to solve the equation to finish the block on the blockchain network. Everybody's computer that contributes to that equation or puzzle or whatever you want to call it gets rewarded a piece of that. As of right now, guys, there is a huge shortage in semiconductors and these mining rigs. I mean, they're sold out months in advance. Now, the company that's going to capture the most amount of that hash rate and keep, adding better, more effective rigs are going to be the ones that are going to do the best. You want to capture as much of the global network as you possibly can. Mara made a first mover advantage there. Back in December when they did that offering, or it was 2020 sometime, they went and made a massive purchase for Bitcoin mining rigs. Over the past year, they invested $238 million for mining rigs, and 170 million of that was for 70,000 top-of-the-line S19 Ant miners, which are some of the best mining rigs on the market right now. They have the best hash rate, best power consumption, things like that. So they're more profitable. I'm not an expert, but from my research that I've read up on, but yes, I've read that they're almost more profitable than any other rig on the market. Now those rigs are being delivered to them every month. As you can see here, they are planning, once all of their rigs are deployed, they will have 103,000 miners with 10.37 exahash, which will make up 6.4% of the global hash rate, which means they will do 55 to 60 Bitcoins per day at an average of $4,541 per Bitcoin. That's what they cost to mine one Bitcoin, is $4,500. If the price stays at 55,000, that'll do $94.4 million in revenue per month and 86.5 million in gross profit. Now, they don't plan to have all of these miners, fully deployed until Q1 of 2022. So we still got some time. But guys, that is a massive jump up there. As you can see here, they're going from 13,644, 1.46 exahash to 103,000 miners at 10.37 exahash. I don't know if they'll do that. I would imagine that they'll do that, but there's a lot of things that can go wrong there. And they're literally going from doing 9 million in Q1 of 2021 to, what did it say? $94 million a month. So that's 300 grand a quarter almost. So guys, if they can do that, there is a lot of room to grow here for this company. So that's the first thing that I really like. Like I said, with the shortage, all of the other companies that, didn't or don't have rigs or didn't place orders, they're going to have to wait until, the shortage eases and they can produce enough rigs where they're not sold out so much. The next thing is cheap power. You've got to find the most cost-effective energy, and power that you can. The more it costs you to run your rigs, the less profit you're making. They partnered with a company called Beowulf Energy to pretty much build a mining facility that cuts their energy costs down tremendously and gives it to them at a fixed rate of like 28 cents a kilowatt hour, something like that. So, huge advantage there. That energy facility is going to bring their energy costs down to like one of the best in the industry. The other thing is with the, with those projections there of once they get fully deployed at 103,000 miners, the difficulty rate's obviously going to go up. The difficulty rate in 2020 went up like 41%. The difficulty rate in 2019 went up 130%, and it's already up 35% year to date. I want to say that by the end of 2021, the difficulty rate for 2021 will be around 60% total. The difficulty rate is just how much harder it is to solve the block on the network. So the more miners that come on, to the network, the harder the difficulty goes. So the more they add miners, the more other companies add them. Now, that's another thing. There's a shortage, so you can't buy new ones. And all of the old miners that are not as efficient to run, don't have as much, hash rate, they're going to come to a point where they're just useless. You can't even run them anymore because it costs, more to run them than you actually mine. So again, guys, that big early mover advantage is huge with that lower cost of energy, partnering with Beowulf. The other thing is the halving. I think it's every 210,000 blocks that are mined, they half the reward. So the reward right now is like 6.25 per block. They're going to cut that down to 6.125 at 210,000 blocks, which is predicted to happen in 2024. So there's definitely things that they're going to have to navigate through. But the way I see it is if that, half isn't going to happen until 2024, I see Bitcoin doing much higher price points, from now until 2024 to compensate for that half. I definitely don't see Bitcoin being 55, 60,000 in 2024, but I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I think it's going to do multiples. Well, not multiples, but I absolutely see it being well over where it is right now in 2024. So, we'll just have to wait and see though. As you can see right here, like I said, these are the two partnerships that they are set up with, the Beowulf Energy and the Bitmain, for the mining rigs in general. One thing I wanted to show you here, they currently hold $302 million in Bitcoin. They have 5,292 total Bitcoin, and they've got 216 million in actual cash. So, and also in April, this kind of gives you an idea of how fast they're increasing their hash rate because those deliveries are coming in every month from the miners they bought. In April, they mined 162.1 Bitcoin compared to 157 that they mined in the entire Q4 of 2020. So they're really, really ramping up there. Then you can see here improving mining margins, lower energy cost. This is their average production cost. And then they are getting cash flow positive with minimal total liabilities, which is fantastic. This is kind of gives you an idea of their revenue predictions. Guys, just so massive. I mean, this is where we are right here in May. You can see, what does that say? About 20 million in revenue, every month, all the way up to, 100 million a month in February 2022. Will they get there? I don't know. I think if Bitcoin prices continue to roll, like I think they will, I think they'll get there, but hopefully they don't see any, issues or constraints with the shortages, and hopefully the mining company the mining rig company that they partnered with can deliver their rigs and they can implement them. But let's jump in and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Overall, guys, I am super bullish on this stock. It is very volatile, but overall, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I like Mara a lot. I like the fact that they've partnered with the energy company. I like the fact that they spent all of that money to order those rigs early. They're doing big things, and I think they're going to do well. So as you can see here, guys, this is the Bitcoin chart. You can see it's just kind of hitting this wall right here at like the 58 to 59,000 range, and just keeps getting rejected and pushed down. Overall, they were making, a really nice trend line, and then, making higher highs, higher lows, and then it kind of broke down through here, broke through the moving averages. When you drop down to the 4-hour chart, you can see here, after that big sell-off a week or two ago, back at the beginning of April, when it crashed all the way down to 47,000, it was really starting to make its way. Nice valleys, like 1, 2, 3 valleys, and then it kind of broke the higher lows that it was making. What we do not want to see is we do not want to see a candle close below this level right here. We've got this big, these big engulfing candlesticks right here that are holding us up. As long as we can hold this level right here, I think we'll be fine. If it breaks down and we get a close below this 52 range, we could fall all the way down to 48. If it doesn't hold there, we're gonna fall all the way down to 42. So overall, I think it's gonna hold because it did come down, try to get close, pushed right back up. But it needs to break this 58 to 59 range. And then overall, it needs to also come back up and break the 63 range, 63.5. So, guys, overall, I think Bitcoin is looking fine. I'm not worried about it at all. I think it's going to do just fine. Let's take a look at the Mara chart. So as you guys can see here, this is a very, very volatile stock. Back in December, November, it was like $2. Comes out, Bitcoin price really starts advancing, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Just really, really, big gaps all over the place. You can kind of see that it's making this. So this is looking like a demand area. I mean, like I said, guys, this morning, it came out and gapped all the way down to a low of $23.23, and then really pushed its way back up throughout the rest of the day and got back up to almost $26, but down in after hours, it's all the way back down to $23.60. So guys, we really want to see it hold right here. If it does not hold and it blows through the 200-day moving average as well at this demand area, I mean, we could see it come all the way back down and retest this $17 to $16 range. If it doesn't hold there, I mean, it's going to 10. In reality, it's going to 10. But again, their stock price is going to mirror Bitcoin price. If Bitcoin breaks through those levels we were just looking at and goes down and retests the 47, level, Mara is going to do the same thing. If Bitcoin can hold and it can break up through the 58, 59, Mara, I think, will start moving itself right back up, with Bitcoin and advancing with it. You can see here, I mean, this head and shoulders pattern is looking pretty nasty. It came down, broke the neckline. So I could definitely see more downward pressure, especially the fact that it didn't hold in after hours, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I think you have two options with the stock like this. You either trade it on the short-term volatility and you ride the upswings, you ride the runs, and then you take profit, or you dollar cost average at any sign of weakness anytime it gets around this demand area, and you hold and you hold on for dear life. You've got to have a really strong stomach for a stock like this. If you can't handle a lot of volatility, I don't recommend this stock. Guys, I'm super bullish on it though. I think it's going to do very well over the course of the next 2 years. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. I see it no problem getting back up here and retesting this 45 area right up around here. And depending on how well Bitcoin does, even getting up here and retesting the $57 level, towards the end of 2021, early 2022. I did see some analysts have some price targets of like $100 by the 2024 mark. So we'll just have to wait and see. If they can get their miners set up, if they can get deployed, if they can hit their hash rate, if they can keep their energy costs low, they're going to kill it. as long as Bitcoin does well, moving forward. So that's it for today, guys. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed stockbroker. Always do your own research and due diligence. Don't just take my word for it. If you've got a price prediction on Bitcoin, let me know down in the comments, or Mara. I'd love to hear it. Come join us at the Patreon, and come support the channel, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.